Yo, what's going on, everybody? You back on the reel with Curdy Bird.
My man, Big Head Bruce.
What's up, everybody? What's up?
Yes,
Hey, man.
Sir, how we doing?
Hey, I want to start out, man. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there this weekend, man. Take that time with your families. Share it, your loved ones, man. Those that you cherish in your life, man. Reach out to somebody, man, that you ain't spoke to in a minute, man. You know, but be thankful for those things that you have, and you know, no matter how little they may be or you may think they may be, you know, be thankful for that stuff.
Absolutely. So important. Be safe. Be safe.
Absolutely.
Travel safe.
Bertie, I'm gonna give it to you, man. I'm gonna give you this one.
No doubt. Very special guest today. You know what I mean? A brother. You know what I mean? Watch this man go from a young man to a man. You know what I mean? He been through some things in his life. You know what I mean? Maybe he'll share them with us. Maybe he won't. But like I said, you know what I mean? He holds a very special place in my heart. Everybody know that. His mom is my mom. My mom was his. You know, those type of deals. Yes. But without further ado, it is one of my favorite. Tory Williams, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you, man. It's an honor.
Yeah,
it's an honor.
Welcome to the show.
I'm a fan of the show, man. It's a respectful thing, man. I'm humbled.
Hey,
I'm humbled. I'm humbled, man.
That's great. I like it. I'm not coming from you. I can take that.
I'm glad he come on the show, man. I'm glad he come on the show, man.
This is a great thing, man. You know, touch in just a little bit, man. You know, for everybody looking, I was giving these guys some credit. You get a chance, man. Give these guys the credit that they really deserve for what they're doing here, man. Positive people doing a positive thing. Give roses and credit when it's due, man. You guys give roses and credit all the time. Somebody should give you guys the same thing, man.
I appreciate that. Well, positivity, man. Positivity, I'm going to tell y'all something. I want to tell y'all a little story, man. Before we get too much into T-Dot real quick, man. I'm going to tell you a little story. I had a conversation, like a little over an hour car ride. You know, I drive Uber. I tell everybody, that's me, man. That's me. That's the job. They said, Bruce, this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, go ahead.
But so listen, I'm trying. This young brother, he's 21 years old, driving truck. He's flying back to Oklahoma. I mean, and this brother, everything that says about him says, man, he does the accent, everything. If you judge a book by its cover, if you judge a book by its cover, if you was one of them people, you'd be like, this racist ass. And this brother was the most, I didn't even know there was hoods in Oklahoma. He told me all about them. He said, I'm going to tell you what. Hey, Jesse, my man, I know you subscribe. Hey, this brother said, all my friends are black. But man, positivity, man. Listen, this dude at the end dapped me. Like, just positivity, man. You can't, don't judge a book by just those lessons, man. Just to see them in real life, in my personal day, and be able to experience it, like, it's just a great thing. You feel me what I'm saying, man?
Man, you want to know a big thing about that story also, man, applying the lesson. You understand? Like, so much for, seeing it in the world and it being done, but applying the lesson. Like, I've been telling my sons and people, there's a second part to learning. And the second part to everybody actually knowing what they're supposed to do or how they're supposed to act. There's a second part to that, and that's actually applying it. You might know something, you might know how to read, but if you look at a book and it's just words, you didn't apply your knowledge. You know what I mean? So for that to even happen and it open your mind, I mean, that was big on his part, and your thing, not judging a book by its cover, but applying it is just as big as that, man.
That's what to me, that's what it's about, and I love it because it's just like you said, it's the judging the book by the cover thing, but we always talk about this. We all do it. We get thrown off. Like, you didn't see that coming. That boy threw the curveball at you like a muff. You understand? And we, you know what I mean? We all get wrapped up to it until you have that conversation. You're going to think what you want. You're going to think what you were taught, and you're not really learning nothing. Just like he said, it's the second part. Yeah, I could say my dad could have told me, man, don't you never talk to nobody that look like Bruce. Bruce a piece of shit. Right. And then I go over and talk to Bruce, and he's nothing my daddy said he was. Now I'm confused, and I don't know
that story somewhere.
Yeah, you know where it come from.
Huh? Well, it might have been my pops.
Yeah,
Let me ask you guys a
story.
question based on that, right?
That's different.
Ooh, okay.
Let me ask you guys a question. Your thoughts on this? Nowadays, with that aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that racism is more taught than just something that people genuinely have?
98% taught.
Taught. See, me 100%.
I'm sorry.
It's 100% taught. It's 100% taught.
Go ahead. I'm back. I'm gonna tell
Okay,
you.
I say 98%. It's okay because the other 2% is I feel like somebody could
chemical imbalances that people just don't think right.
I feel
that's what I think.
If it's a chemical imbalance, I feel like anybody, we're all fucked up in that situation.
No, but I seriously think there's a 2% of this population that's been on this planet that's probably they're mental, that they hate people, and they hate people just to hate people. So that's the only thing I would say.
I wasn't going that way.
That's the only thing I was saying.
The other 2% to me is if one person do something to somebody and now they hate them all.
Right.
You understand? Like even
Okay.
we even do.
I see that.
I can see that.
I'll go
I
one
understand
and
what
one.
you're saying.
Yeah, you understand because even we see it even like some veterans of war. You understand? They say they fought against the Japs. They're not understanding it was the Japanese government that told them people to come kamikaze Pearl Harbor.
Right.
You understand? So now we hate all.
My father hated all.
Yeah, you understand? Now I hate them all.
He had a word from him. He called him gooks.
Right.
That was his word, man. He called him gooks.
This
was the 80s, but yeah.
There's this social experiment this dude goes. He dresses in his jihad, or I'm not trying to disrespect no religion, but the Muslim garb.
Okay, yeah.
And he got his backpack, and he runs into like it'll be a busy ass thing, and he throws the backpack, and what everybody do?
Right.
They run. You understand? Like that's what you understand. Like so. That's just.
I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm running.
I'm running too.
I'm not.
I'm out. I'm not going to sit.
I'm out.
Listen, I'm running at the party.
But that's just funny. I'm running, motherfucker.
I'm gonna tell you.
You run in.
Yeah,
If a white dude runs in and throws a backpack in the air, guess what?
I'm
running.
about to say, if anybody's suspicious running the square throwing something, I'm
going. It don't matter if it's jihad, if it's white, it don't matter.
I don't need to see it land.
The jihad, the Muslim guy, I might. You're right. It might be a little more a faster run.
And I just feel like, me, I'm all humanity.
Right.
I don't agree with. I don't feel like people gotta die for what they believe in or their standing towards the world. Like, and we're better. We're better than you. Shit, that shit gotta stop. We're all people. Go ahead.
Man, I believe that it's so deep, man. I believe that the fabric of the fabric of Americans as we are has changed simply because it's now like it's just in us whether we want it or not. And the reason I say that, man, and maybe my mind goes in different places, but do you believe that, after a while your bloodline will adapt? Will adopt to certain things. Like if you live in the cold or whatever, your bloodline gets used to the cold. A baby doesn't come out learning Chinese. It doesn't have the capability to do all of that, but just constant hearing and constant seeing and constant that gives it its first word is in Chinese if it's over there than American or whatever, right?
Right.
So I believe this, man. Back in the day, right, there was a book. And this is not on no racist thing or racism or at all, but there was a book, The Making of a Slave. Okay. And in that book, the basic thing was it taught people how not to have a rebellion but have control at the same time. Okay. So that fabric of people learning and seeing that aspect and learning from that book, because that's how it was really ran as far as like when slavery and stuff was going like that. Willie Lynch was a guy, if nobody know, he was a guy that didn't have rebellions on slaves and stuff like that. We got him come over, do all that stuff. But anyway, take for instance, completely off subject, take for instance, right? One of the biggest things was he said, if a woman has a baby, take the man away. If it's a male child, take the male baby out the home. Okay, that way, I mean, take the male out the home. Leave the baby, take the dad out the home. Excuse me.
Right.
Okay? So then that way the baby starts to take on female traits. Not necessarily, like men or whatever, but they start to ask for things. They don't think they can help themselves. And when they go and they ask for help, who do they see? Their peer, the person that they look up to, go for help to the master. So in essence, you become God to them. Okay? That has hurt the fabric of some women that might think that they might not need a man to raise a child because they've seen it for so long. And it's not their fault, and it's not some other people's fault. So for some of the things that they do, but you only know and you learn and you do that by not imitating, but seeing things. We're all subject to it, right? And it's not saying that anybody's right or anybody's wrong above that level. But I think that so much of America has seen this is the way to get this, and this is a way to get that. And these people are typically get over on this. These people are typically big thing. They say black people back in the day used to buy Cadillacs and this and that, so that's the fanciest thing you can get them. White people buy guns. You want to give white people something, show them a gun to buy. That's just judging a book by its cover. But what that is honest research from before me saying that comment on people really trying to dominate you in some way, through some form. So even subliminally, even if we don't try it, even if we don't want to, we have to train ourselves not to do it because we've been taught and bred and have seen it for so long that if you see somebody, that's it.
So to answer your question, your own question, you think that it is a learned behavior?
I believe it is, but I believe that, with an open mind, as easily as it was learned, it can be dissipated.
I disagree.
You just got.
I wish I could agree with you.
Here goes. Here goes the thing.
It can't.
It's cool.
It can't go nowhere. Because there are too many undercover people out there. There are more than people even know. There's somebody you might shake a hand with. The fact is, we talk about having courage to just speak.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people really don't have that courage to speak, or sometimes I realize not even more because I'm not trying to make people that don't speak up about things look like a piece of shit.
Right.
But sometimes people just don't speak. It's not a courage thing. It's because it's scary because they need to take care of their family because they have to make sure they keep this job that pays really well.
It's the fear of
And it's something that, once again, some of us become trained to do.
Right.
So
I understand.
You're right, because there's different aspects. You're absolutely right.
That's all it is. All it is for people like us is a hope. That's all it is. We're just hoping that it happens. And you're right. I don't believe
some hard work.
I don't
kill anything. I'll tell you that though. Hoping some hard work.
We have to get back to where it's not even getting back to. We got to get to it. Man, we have to learn to love one another. Forget about what somebody look like. That should be the first. I don't care what it is. I'm not here to talk about anybody's ethnicity or culture.
Right.
That's you. You're not supposed to want anyone to get rid of that.
Right.
Exactly. That's it.
Encourage them to learn
right.
more of
there
it.
You
Yes.
Learn.
Yeah.
Yes,
let's step outside of your boundaries sometimes and really figure out why somebody is act the way they do. Because you understand, a lot of people are literally just a product of their environment. And I mean that on all angles. We're sitting here talking about racism. There's counties in this country right now that is still 1950s. You feel me? We don't want no N-words around this joint. You keep your jigaboo ass over there. I'm staying my tobacco ass over here. And you understand?
Not too far from
Yes, you understand, and it's sickening. I saw this experiment this dude did. He was on the highway and he was holding the Black Lives Matter sign in one of the most racist counties in America. Mm-hmm. And the shit that people were saying to him is crazy. You understand? just to fathom, like, you're still not together. How are you whole? How are you a whole American and you're not dealing with all Americans?
At all.
And everyone likes these titles, this American, that American, African American, Italian American, blah, blah, American. And we forget about the last, yeah.
We had that conversation, I think, like 19 episodes ago.
Yeah.
You ain't lying. That's the bullshit. Because you know what else pisses me off? Because them crack-ass crackers that's doing that dumb shit, right? That's doing that stupid-ass shit. Yes, I said it, the crack-ass crackers that's doing that dumb shit. Then they make the people like myself and the people that you guys are fucking married to or have kids.
You shouldn't have to feel no.
Like, it's insane. So it's probably. But if you just once again open up your mind,
man, please,
try to learn a little bit, man. And this
what you'll figure out is, dude, you're not this. You're the same. I'm not playing like my redneck brothers. I know you're just like me. We struggle just the same. Like, I'm not playing like you're just like me. You ain't got shit. We looking for the same shit. You want the same help I want. Come on, brother. You want the same help I want. You out there living on the farm, struggling just like me.
I'm gonna ask you, my man.
Okay.
That was a dope ass. I appreciate that. Hey, look, man. Normally, me or Kurtberg will surprise each other. We don't normally get surprised by the guest. I like that, bro. That was some good shit. That was some good shit. I like it.
Let's get it.
But great conversation starter. Give us a boom, just a kind of quick background, like of yourself, man. Like what you've been through, if you don't mind.
I'm honored, man. I know these guys, like I said, man, and I'm blessed. I'm gonna start off by saying that I'm blessed, man. I'm very blessed. I've been through so much just to learn where I am, and I went through something where I lost my best friend. It's like my brother, due to a decision that I made, and he's no longer here. And that was one of the toughest things that I've ever had to deal with in life. But you know what it led me to, man? It led me to become a man that can sit here with you guys today and be thankful that you guys are here. This is my brother, man. More than anything, I've known you my whole life. To see you guys grow up, I used to tell you all the time, man, it's crazy, and I'm so respectful to see the man that you are for everything that you've been through. And the thing that they're doing with this what you guys are doing with this podcast is so amazing and so beautiful, man, to give an avenue to be spoke about on these things. I've always wanted to talk about, the situation that I've been through and stuff like that, because I wanted to help young kids as far as like just not make the same mistakes. But I also want them to know that your hurdle is only your hurdle. Everybody wants to be Superman, everybody wants to be LeBron, but nobody wants the problems that come with having a cape. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, this generation, you can be called anything that you want to be just because you say that you are. I'm not from that time. I'm not, and it's just, I just want I would love to, I'm so thankful for this. Like I said, I would love for everybody to just understand your obstacles, man. I try to
No, you did it. Peel that onion. Tell your story, bro. Like, for real. You just said you wanted to do it. Go ahead, man. Like, for real. You know who I am. You know how I get down, bro. Tell your story, bro, because the only thing you're doing what you always wanted to do, bro. You're doing what you always wanted to do. Help somebody.
We started this out with positivity.
You say, dude.
I've been through a lot, man. When I was younger, sports was everything to me.
There we go.
That's how I got.
There you go.
That's how I got, my love, my passion. Sports was everything to me. And just like anything, I lost so much focus at a young age chasing things that didn't mean nothing. And chasing things that don't mean nothing and being loyal to things that aren't true is the deadliest thing you can do to yourself. At 40 years old, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think that there's too many people I can't get on the court with right now. put me on the court with anybody. I believe I can do what I can do.
I'm not gonna doubt it,
You know
brother.
what I'm
I
saying?
shook your hand and you were solid as a rock still. I said, damn.
At the same time, though, it makes me sad because I believe that it's a blessing that God gave me and it continues to give me because he loves me more than anything. That me not being focused on that act that I'm supposed to do, that I was supposed to do, took me away. And that's not meaning that if you make one mistake or if you make two mistakes or you make this, that it's going to keep happening. I kept making strings and strings and strings of mistakes. Decision that I could have did this, I made that decision. I knew it was the wrong decision. At the time, it felt cool. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be here, but I get to it later. It's not, it was of my playing. But in the same token, man, I think that I was blessed enough with a mind that God has given me eyes to see even where I'm at anywhere. So during that time, I met one of the best people I've met in my life. This man, godfather to my son. You know what I mean? And it was lessons. And then with driving, I was drinking, I was driving. Me and my friend, my brother, we went out one night and we was having a night, and at the end of the night, we wasn't even, honestly, I'm not making no excuses because there is no excuse. This is just the honest truth. I have no reason to lie about it, but we wasn't even really drinking that much. We went to go see somebody, but maybe it seems like, took a couple shots before we left, so that was different. But I honestly, I wish, and I can't wait to really talk to Danny because I still don't know exactly how it happened. I just remember waking up, you know what I mean? And that was one of the toughest things I've ever had to go through in my life. His mom is an angel, man, because she could have hated me, she just knew that it was genuine, and it hurts me every day that I think about it. You know what I mean? She knows that. So it's like she could have been any way, but bring tears to my eyes now. Like Miss Charette, she's an angel. She's an angel. I mean, she deserves her flowers. She's an angel. But, above all of that, man, God put me in a place where I had to learn. And I think that's a place that a lot of people need to be. Like, I think that I've started to become and think differently like I do because I was honestly forced to be in a place where I do where a lot of men don't do. I'm not afraid to look in the mirror. I'm not afraid to see me. I'm not afraid to see who I am. I'm not afraid to stand on what I am. I'm not afraid of none of that. But at the same time, I can see what I need to be. You know what I mean? And that's why I like to talk to kids and I like to coach, I like to do all of that, man, because sometimes it don't be just about the game. It be about trying to find where a kid's mental is sometimes. Because it's not always about just the practice. It's about that 2 hours. They're doing something different than they could be doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. I think I look at things a lot differently than most people look at them. And it's simply because I've been through things that most people might not have been through and can't see them like I see them. And that's because God only gave me my eyes, man. But it's a blessing to be here. And it's a blessing to talk about it. It's a blessing to get it off my chest, especially with people that I love and trust, man. And letting the world know and letting you guys see it too, man. But it's just everything that you see, anything in life that is an obstacle to you, you can't really call yourself a man or a woman if you haven't had one, because then that means you don't know if you can step over something. And anybody that has an obstacle and they stand behind it and they use it as an excuse to being why they're not destined, why they didn't become what they're destined to become, then you can't call yourself a man either or a woman. Because a man or a woman will use that obstacle and stand on it and be like, I'll never be there again. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. That's the thing. Like, we to talk about a lot of stuff, man. It breaks down to people are scared to look in the mirror, man. The world needs help, of course, but it can't. Like, it's so might sound corny, but like Puffy said in the movie, you can't change unless you change yourself, man. If you can't look in the mirror and you can't be honest with yourself and be like, yo, then how can you tell somebody about them? And the Bible say, how can you tell somebody about the toothpick in their eye? You got a pole in yours, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't do stuff like that. And I think that God has blessed me with the spirit to be able to see myself. Like, there's a lot of things right now as we speak, I can't sit here and say I got perfect. I know I don't. And there's things I got to do a lot better. I know that too.
So you coach, right? And, you know what I mean? You know, I know you.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? From single mom, shout out Mama V.
Love
you
you,
know what I
Mom.
mean? You know, just growing up by yourself, you know what I mean? Having to dig yourself, and you've been doing this a long time. I remember when you was 4 years old, it was the first time I ever saw you was on 6th Street in Vanessa, and your mom was walking down the street, and I guess your mom and my mom must have knew each other, you know what I mean? Because I believe we was just moving back to Vanessa. And you did this thing, it was a song, and then you're sitting there talking very spiritual, and it was like a church spiritual song. And I remember that day you like moved me. You know what I mean? Like this, and I think you wrote the joint too, or your mom might have wrote it, and you learned whatever the case. But it was a very inspirational song. And as we grew through life, you understand, as life went, I mean, like we started, like I think you was 25, I was 30, and when we started like really kicking it, and that song's really your life. You know what I mean? That song you were singing, everything about it, like there's no quitting you.
No.
You feel me? Like honestly, like.
Can I explain to you why?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
This has nothing to do with black and white. So when I speak this, I'm not excluding any white people or anything. I'm just speaking solely what I believe about myself. I believe I should change the room anytime I step in it. I believe if I step in the room, the air should get thick. I believe I should change situations. I believe I wasn't put on here to be normal. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is, like, do you know, like, sharks to this day, they migrate the path of slave ships. They still swim that path. Because we all know the story back in the day, you know, slaves slept this close to each other, on top of each other, once a week, through the water, threw them over. They thought food was coming. So this is what I believe about my bloodline. A lot of people's bloodlines on here, whether I know my last name or not. A lot of people's bloodlines are not here. When they were brought over and they weren't strong enough to lay next to each other, they died. They got thrown over. If they wasn't strong enough mentally, health-wise, they died. After that, they got to land. If they wasn't strong enough for the labor, or too weak, or they wasn't amongst the cream of the crop to get work, they killed them too. Their bloodlines died. Some people weren't mentally strong enough to last through that. They killed themselves. Some people fought through the war, became 3/5 a person, all the way to the point where we've had a black president, right? If there's something in front of me that I can't overcome, my ancestors will roll over in their goddamn grave. Because I'm one of the strongest people on this earth, and my bloodline has proven that. So if something hits me and I can't get over it, I can't change the situation, I'm not a difference maker, what they fight for. And that's my track record. It got to be in me whether I know it or not, because we all explain that your bloodline. You got some of your pops in you, some of your moms in you. Some of the things you like, maybe your attitude, whatever, maybe not. Your patience, who knows? You too. We all got it in us. Some trinkle of it. Something is in there. Whether you try to taint it or fault it or not look in the mirror to see who you are, you cannot deny who you are and where you came from and the blood that run through you.
You know what I love about that? Like the way you spoke, the things you said, everything you said, the entire thing. I love the fact that when I hear that, I hear confidence. I hear someone who is extremely open-minded. Someone who is drastically changed over the last 20 plus years that I've known you from a young man.
I appreciate that.
And that's the only thing that I heard, man. And for you to be that proud,
Yeah.
that is something that is the reason that you do what you do with these kids. That is the reason that you have this opportunity to sit here on this show and tell people like
it's like a
what you do, man. This is like this is one of the biggest reasons we do it, because we already know. We talked about it earlier. We ain't gonna get into all that, but we talked about it. We're not gonna change everybody, and everything's not gonna change. But you know what? We're gonna change one person's mind.
I was about to say,
we're gonna change one. You're gonna change one person's mind.
Even
the more people you touch.
Even in your story, like, I would hope that that's an awakening for the viewers to reach out to their kids or whoever. Hey, he made a mistake. He had to live with it. You understand? He paid his price. He paid his debt to society. He came home, became a better man because of his situation. Hey, he has to look a woman in the face every day.
It hurts.
You understand? You understand? Like
I sometimes when I used to
who
see
was a mother figure. Go ahead.
First time
I used to see Miss Charette sometimes, like, and I would walk away. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. I know, like, where
I hope she sees this,
it's
because
hard,
she needs to know that. Yeah.
I mean, I know it just seems like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, and I'm a contradiction of myself sometimes, because, like, I believe in God and I believe in forgiveness. I know that. I swear I do. But then you want to know what? I'm guilty of my own thing, because it's not. Man, they be words. They're not just words. When people be like, "It's you gotta forget." You can't just do that. No. You want to know why? Because, like, and people be like, "Yeah, that's it." You can't, because, listen, we all. I don't know if I'm right. We don't know. I don't know. I believe, but I don't know. Like, Danny hasn't talked to me since that day. He hasn't. I don't know how he feels. You know what I mean? To not see my son right now play high school football, bro. You know how hurt I'd be. I don't know how that man feel. I don't know. I wanna know. I believe. I want to believe, but I don't know, and nobody can tell me that, because they don't know. Nobody's been there to talk to him to come back to tell me, because they don't know.
Listen to me, brother, and I promise you this. You know, I'm not no big as we're on death, but dude, that was your brother. You hear me? That was your brother. That's your brother still till this day.
No doubt, man. But
that dude is forgiven, bro. Hey, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad we're able to air this shit out, because you might need this from me.
Because he made a decision the same night you did.
No. Hey, the biggest thing, my G, accident. My man, you didn't go out there and say, here, bye. You understand? Right. It was an accident, bro.
Yes.
And you can't let them demons beat you. Them is the demons that can't defeat you. That demon right there is the one that you got to knock off his motherfucking throne right now, bro. Like, for real. Because if not, that shit will kill you inside out. That's a 44-year-old heart attack, my G. You got to let that demon go. You understand? Because you just said it yourself. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Don't make it a negative thing. Don't make it like he's not forgiven. You're very spiritual. You believe in God. One day you're going to see that, man. You're going to all figure this shit out. But right now, while you're here, that son that's out there playing football, you're Danny Senior, just like you've been, my G. That's all it is, Doc. Mm-hmm. You a bad motherfucker, bro. You done came for educational purposes only. You're a bad motherfucker, bro. You hear me? Remain that. the dope dad, the dope uncle. You understand what I'm saying?
Coach.
The dope coach. Remain
the dope
that.
friend.
The dope friend. The dope brother. Remain that.
The loving surrounding. You exude it. You said when you walk into a room, you expect the owner. You walked in to a room full. You walked into a garage with 2 alphas and boom.
Right, dude. I mean, it's not you, and you know it ain't. I'm glad that it's you. And those tears that you be trying to hold back. Let them shits go wherever you're at, because that's him. There you go, right there. Without those tears, there's no memory of him, and that's for everybody else that lost somebody.
We are daddy's kids.
Yeah.
We are our father's sons. But I'm gonna tell you what, real men do cry.
Yes,
man.
dude,
Listen,
man.
that hurt me. If nobody, if listen, man, that's what I'm saying. Some people, maybe it's just pain they've never experienced that can hit them like that.
Right.
But God, man, I swear, dog, go through it, man. You just like you've been. It's the same thing. You talk about them hurdles, here go another one. Because if not, if you let that demon win, it's going to affect everything. Now I'm not pouring into being that dope coach. Now I'm not pouring into being that dope father. Now I'm not pouring into being that dope friend, because now I'm letting this hold me back. And I always said this, like, for real, like, talking to him, I lost my mom and my baby sister. You understand what I'm saying? And my thing, I always say, like, and I know my sisters, and then I know I'm not normal when I do this shit. And my sisters and brothers probably look at me like I'm a weirdo. But this is really how I am. Like, I lost my mom first, and when she was on her deathbed, she said, "Hey, Curtis, I'm going to fight for my life. You understand? I don't want you to believe I'm giving up, but I'm going to fight for my life." She said, "But when I do go over, I don't want you crying over me. I want you to think about the great times that we had, and it'll always be a joyous time for you when you think about me." You understand? And it's the same thing. Like, they don't want you out here like that, living your life like that. You understand? Like, don't never use that for an excuse. I remember when I was in college, I had this professor. He was like, "Yeah, I don't care what happens. You always got to be in class." He was like, "I don't care if your mama died. You got to be in class." And I'm like, yo, this dude lost his mind. But your mama would want you to be in class. They don't want you out here using their name as an excuse to fail.
Right.
You understand? Yeah. Glorify.
Do it just so.
Glorify.
So
you understand?
Continue to do what you're doing. You now have the ability to put this on a platform, and just do what you've just done. And
because this isn't it for you. You got so much more of a story to tell. It's ridiculous. Like, you understand? Like, bro, like,
we're gonna have to bring you back for part.
You're one of
dog.
You're one of them people, bro. Like, for real, you're one of them people. You understand? Like, just like you said, when you speak, people listen. You understand? Now you got a story that people need to hear, bro. And they ain't gonna do nothing but help. You understand? That's what the world needs, bro.
You know, the first time I saw this young man when I moved back from Virginia. You know, first time I saw this young man.
Mm-hmm. You tell him. You can tell him.
SCI Pittsburgh, a wall, Western Penitentiary.
That was for this.
Oh, by the way, yo, we've told you, I think they know, I was a corrections officer for 12 years.
Right.
Yeah, so this man, I saw this man. You know what I did? We walked up to each other and we did. That's what we did.
I knew you for 12 years before that.
At least.
Before that moment, when you was growing up across the street.
This young man, I mean, he spent time in prison. Guess what he didn't do? Guess what you didn't do? When you got out, I don't think you used that as an excuse, did you?
No.
You didn't use being in prison as an excuse to do what you're doing now, having a job where you're out here working 40, 60 hours a week, making a living, taking care of your family, taking care of your entire family.
I'm going to tell you what happened, too, with that, man. It was a blessing also. I messed up. I got out of jail and went right back because I was stupid. But you want to know...
I remember that, too, by the way. I was going to let you bring that up.
I went right back because I was stupid. But you want to know... My aunt Nance just passed away. All right, that was it's my heart. It's a lady that named me. She prayed over me and my family for hours that night. So spirituality and like just I ain't gonna say just my belief in God, my relationship with Him,
right.
is always genuine. So I learned a lesson when I was in there, and anybody, and thank you, because I needed that, and maybe it was meant for me to thank you.
Know.
Everything
But
is meant to make.
and maybe somebody could reach out to me and really help me understand this better if I say it wrong. But they say like David was a man after God's own heart, right? Y'all know the story of that man?
No,
you don't.
No.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, real rap. I'm gonna put it to you in layman's terms.
Yeah, layman's terms.
The boy was a king. He was the guy, right? Now during that time, his squad was out there running. They were fighting. During that time, the king supposed to be out there with the squad fighting.
Yeah.
This man at the crib, chilling, doing him. David loved women. They'll tell you in the Bible, David, when he got sick, they're like, yo, just throw like 3-4 hoes in his bed. Right? Let him lay with him. He be cool. That was later on in life. But listen, he was like, he's chilling up there with his homie. He was like, hey, yo, there's this shorty across the way. She like putting clothes up or babe. She's doing something. But David's like, yo, who's that? He's like, man, that's shorty. He's like, man, go get her. Swing her by the rooftop, right? So listen, the boy go get her and she come over. And David was like, what's up with you? She was like, look, dude, you know what I mean? My man in the squad rumbling for you. I can't tell you no because you the king, but like, come on, dude. He was like, man, shut up. Yeah. Got some. Knocked her up. So his homie come back like, yo, you know shorty I brought over here. Pregnant as hell. Like, David's like, damn. What I'm going to do? He's thinking. He was like, all right. He was like, her man ain't been home. He was like, I know. He was like, tell him to come back. Calls him back. He tells dude like, man, you been rumbling. You that guy. Go chill with your lady. You know what I'm saying? For the night. Go ahead, bro. Send you back after the weekend. Don't tell nobody. Dude was like, nah. My uncle out there, my brother out there, this out there. I look like laying down with shorty. So he was like, nah. He was like, man, you be cool. Just relax. Go ahead. So his homie come back like, you know the old boy ain't go sleep with his wife, right? He slept by the city gate. He ain't even go in. He didn't even see her. He was like, damn, all right. Here, gives dude a note. Said, take this back with him. Goes, gives, the note tells the general, like, let this man run out where it's fiercest for the war. Everybody charged with him. Then everybody stopped. Let him run out by himself. Got him killed. Killed the dude. That's David. And that's a man that they say is based after God's own heart, but it's not because of the act that he did. It's not because of the one act. God never did, or Jesus never did no act, or God never did no act like that, but his firm belief, no matter what he did, of who was in charge, and who he was supposed to be right for, and who he needed to get better for, and how he needed to change for the best all the time, and his flaws was on him, not of him, I believe that might be why. So the acts and the things that happen during a man's life don't necessarily like deem him terrible. Shoot, Paul killed Christians. He wrote the majority of the New Testament. He was dragging them out the crib. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just believe that, man, I've made mistake after mistake, but there's just too much of me that's supposed to be more than what I was given the world.
All I could tell you is you gotta just remain whole. You understand? Like loyalty, honor, the shit that this show stands for.
Yes.
It's all in you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it always has been. You understand? Like, so my only advice to you is keep it trucking.
Keep spreading it.
Keep trucking.
Keep spreading it to
yeah,
young,
keep
that
trucking.
Just everything you said
For
about
real.
the younger generation, man.
You got
cool
right, man. You got so much, like, and you love them kids just like, you know what I mean? Like, Lil Danny.
It looked just like Big Danny.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's what I said when I saw him.
Talk to him.
Listen.
Talk to him. I guarantee you're going to find some answers in him. Like, for real, because that's him on earth right there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for real. Rap to that young man. Like, I'm pretty sure you done had conversations with him. Get deeper. As he get older, get deeper. Get deeper.
All three of us, man, have had so much bad shit. We're not gonna compare. None of us comparing nothing. We saying the amount of bad shit individually that we've had in each of our lives.
Crush an
sometimes. That's a great way to put it. I mean, that's just the
combined in this room will crush an elephant.
The bottom line is, man, like finding a way, no matter what people say you should do, no matter what obstacles, like you said before, get in your way. It does not matter, man. We're gonna make mistakes, man. We're human fucking beings.
Right,
like that's the craziest shit. Like we are human fucking beings, and people are gonna judge us.
You're not allowed to make a mistake, bro.
The fuck they might say that. I'm gonna make one.
That's what I'm saying. That's the world. You're not allowed to look. You wanna know what I was
telling you? Depending upon how deep that mistake is, you ain't allowed. Yeah,
you ain't allowed to make one. You see, the boy, what was the Stiller boy? Beat his son crazy for having bad grades.
What?
No, like it was a while. It might have been
so he whooped his ass.
No, he beat him back. I was telling my son this the other day, right? And I was like, look, you're in high school. Do I think you're going to drink a beer? Yeah. I hope you don't. But yeah. Are you going to try something? I pray to God you don't. But you're a teenager. For me to think you're going to go through high school perfect,
come on.
You are the most naive some bitch living.
But people don't have that same attitude towards each other. It's like, damn, Bergen could do a million things right for me. Let him do something that's like that'll be the thing I talk about before.
And I'll be like, one tiny slight. That slide, because you know you ain't getting your, you're not.
It's how it is. It's just how I can be like, hey man, Bergen a good person. I remember this one time though, back in like '84.
Yeah,
I asked for some butter. He had a whole, you know what I'm saying?
A whole stick.
It don't matter
he ain't
what
let
you
me
do.
Get one side of my toast.
You're not allowed to make a mistake because that's what people. I mean, it's not what
that's
you
what
should
they're
live
remember.
by. But that's it's
you're
ignorant.
right. I mean,
that's
I
what
guess
they remember.
That's
right.
true, man.
Dan Marino threw for 30 million miles. And the only thing they say, he never won the Super Bowl.
What?
He threw for 30 million miles.
You want to know what my son know about Charles Barkley? He didn't win shit.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, you know nothing else
about this man? This 6'4" dude acting like he 9
foot. Yeah, 6'4".
Yeah,
running up and down the court like crazy.
That's the only thing you know is he didn't win it. Like, I'm like, that is crazy.
It really is. And that's a shame. I
think it's because you talk about that shit. The youth, that's why it's so tough right now. You were saying something how we were talking a little bit earlier how different it is, man. And
it is.
It's crazy because every generation said it. Generations before us, they said, "Oh, them kids, but they ain't shit." Blah, blah, blah.
Do.
And I hear people from our age saying it about. I'm like, and I fell into that for a minute. I did. I'm not gonna bullshit nobody. I fell into that. But man, you talk to some of these younger kids, man. Once again, it goes back to it's like vomit right now. Like just keep recurring.
Yeah.
You know, open your mind, have a conversation with.
You want to know what it's coming to though? It's coming to like what time's coming to. People not really having contact with each other because rough. I asked my son, "You want to know my biggest thing when y'all played? Because you left, you graduated when I came in. You was gone.
I was gone.
Right, watching y'all play big line hoops and all. You want to know what made me think?" Not Friday nights, walking through the trails with my jersey. You see the lights, the band practicing.
Yeah,
I couldn't wait. I asked my son, like, you ever walk through the trails? He was like, what?
What trails?
Trails?
Oh, shit.
We got trails? I'm like, huh?
And the trails all of just 50 yards.
But it was the funnest month. Man, I used to, probably I can't get in trouble now. I used to sneak in the games in the hole in the fence.
Man, shit.
You know how
telling that was
You know how excited I get, fellas, when I'm riding around and I'm like, especially in the summertime, and I see more than 10 people at a basketball court. I stop, I park my car, and I'll watch for 5 minutes.
What you should, man,
because I'm like, my God, like that was some of Like
They need
growing up,
crowds.
like that literally, like if you didn't go away to college, right? And even some people who did, like y'all, it's summertime.
That was the thing
That was what we did all summer.
When did Menneson stop winning whippeals?
When they start playing outside.
When they stopped playing down 9th Street,
Real
bro.
right.
Listen, the last squad that
boom.
Menneson had that won the whippeals, those were majority of the
19
kids that played down 9th Street Park. They had games constantly.
Oh, the hoop games, yeah.
Down 9th Street.
What was it? What was
95 squad. All
what was
up
the last one? Was 2000.
It was like I can't remember.
I don't
It was
remember.
like Jalen and them one, JR one. I can't.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
They got
yeah,
like
they
a
do.
lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
the last group of those kids
Right,
played were people that played at 9th Street. Now they can call them the Bell Vernon Greyhounds, all or whatever they want to call them. But listen, that's not even the thing. The thing is, I look at 9th Street now. I used to go down 9th Street, get my ball kicked over the fence. Because I would try to get a little quick layup when they're down there.
Right.
Maybe it bounced, they catch it, kick my ball all the way down the fucking X on. You know what I'm saying? I go home, I'm trying to tell my Uncle Rick, like, they kicked my boys. I will get the fuck off the court. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so that's what it was. But there is not. 9th Street got 2 courts now.
Yes.
Done up and
Yes.
Playing.
Man, we find, hey, you ever broken an old E-bottle on the motherfucking side of the court, you got to kick out the way with your feet for you start your
we
game.
used to. Beans and then we would sweep the court because it'd be
Yes,
so dusty.
dusty.
We would sweep the court to play. We talk about it in high school. You literally be playing from like soon as you got there until you couldn't play because it was dark. If you lost, you'd be off 2-3 games. It's just so crazy. There's nothing, and that's where you learn the game. Like you probably learned how to spin and really get courage at Holy Name playing pickup.
You damn right. That's where
You know what I'm saying?
that's where it
Playing
was.
street.
that's where the
Street
toughness.
football.
That's where the toughness came from.
Learn your spin
Bro,
moves.
Holy Name.
It was
the-
nothing for people in our
Oh,
generation.
yeah.
It'd be concrete. We're
Yeah, holy
like,
God,
we're
nah,
sticking.
you went there.
Yeah.
You're playing tackle football.
Yeah,
you
we're
might
sticking.
get into a fight there. That was like the meeting place for everything.
Everything.
Listen, then you're cool after. I was
That's
telling my
it.
girl that like a lot of my, I think I fought all my friends that I had when I was young, except me and you grew
Yeah,
up.
right.
When we was older. We was past
Yeah,
all
y'all
that.
was
But
older,
like,
yeah.
all my generational people, and it wasn't even like
We
that's
all
what
fought.
we
I'm
did.
pretty sure
Yeah,
It's just
we
that's
all
just
fought.
what happened.
I'm pretty sure that I fought every.
It
You
was,
know what I mean?
you're going to mix
And
it.
it's
Yes.
not because of ignorance. It's because the competitiveness of
It's the
everything was deep.
That's how you know who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Because an alpha is going to fight with an alpha. That's how you know.
Right.
And
Yeah.
especially at that age when your fucking testosterone is sky fucking high and you
Basketball
who
games,
knows what you're
it
doing.
happens.
You going to rumble.
It happens. Yes.
I was telling my-
a card game. It might be a poker
Anything.
game. You
There could be
don't know.
horseshoes at a city park.
Man, real rap.
Flip cup.
Get crazy. I was telling my son, like, we used to play this game called Hump the Pole. He said, what?
Yeah, yeah.
I said, what do you mean with it?
Better hump
Yeah,
the
bro.
pole, too.
He said, you made
better
people
hump
hump
it.
the pole. I said, if you did hump the pole, we hopped on. You know what I'm saying?
Every point you was like, you had to give him
Go
a stretch him out, man.
You know what it was? He was like, you was embarrassing people. That was the point. You didn't want to be embarrassed.
Yeah, right.
You
I'm
know
gonna tell
I'm
y'all
saying?
what, man. Hey Dot, I think we're gonna have to talk about it, but I think you're gonna have to come back for a part 2 another time.
Hey, man,
dog.
anytime,
I mean,
man.
we
I'm
could
so
probably
honored to be
literally-
here.
We could probably go for at least, I bet 2 hours. I mean, y'all don't realize. Before we even started this podcast this morning,
probably got like
think
a-
there was about a 35-minute conversation, and I knew for the first time I was laughing with Curdy Bird. I said for the first time in a long time, because y'all motherfuckers know I'm loud, but for the first time in a long time, I was able to sit back and listen to 2 men speak on things and the shit they talked about in there. Man, oh my Jesus, holy shit, I got goosebumps and shit, right? But like it's truthfully both of y'all, the conversations y'all had out there, and it's been amazing. I've loved listening. I'm so happy.
Man,
I'm growing
just
up.
like
I'm getting
always,
better at
man.
46 years old on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, the biggest
What we
drinking
wrong with
night
you?
of the year. I'm gonna be sleeping by 7. Oh,
Yeah, shit, too.
I'm not drinking till Christmas.
I'm not drinking till next year.
Right.
Hey, but I'm so, man, thank you so much for coming on, brother. I appreciate it. Ain't no
man.
doubt.
Thank you
man.
for having me,
You
man.
already
It
know,
was
man.
awesome,
Seriously,
man.
man.
Listen, guys, I want to say too. Whoa, we growing, baby. We was at 200 2 weeks ago. We about to hit 3. We're almost at 300 subscribers. You can go to, if you got Facebook, go on the real Facebook page. It'll give you everything. You can follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, on all the shit we got. You know,
All the social
eventually,
followers.
this, we'll be able to spit this out. But yeah, maybe I'm probably lying. I don't give a shit. But anyway, great show, man.
Yes.
Tori, thank you for coming on.
Yes.
Love
Ernie,
y'all.
what you got, man?
You already know I love y'all. You already know, brother. Thanks, man. I hope you really got some things off your chest. I hope you do better, bro. Remember, you got this
Hey,
shit,
man,
bro.
if y'all want a part 2, give it a comment, man. If y'all want a part 2, man. Peace out, y'all.
Love y'all.